So you know that this thing is very rampant in our society. Like, people making this kind of decisions is so.
And I think we Christians, we do that a lot. We try to give our responsibility to God. You understand?
Those people that will project into your future and want to tame you from early on. Those are
if you still have this mindset that there's just one person in the world that God created for you, that if you miss that one person in this life, you will never get married again. Let me just clear the air. That is.
Hi guys, welcome back to another episode on the Truth and Tales podcast with your favorite host, Yemi and
Victoria.
Yay! We're so excited to be back again with you guys for another episode. And I know we always say this, that we're excited. Yes, we are always excited to talk with you guys and to just chat about life and how we live it. And today we are back with another interesting episode, a juicy episode. Thank you guys for always following the podcast, for always following our episode, and for engaging with the episode. We really appreciate you guys. So without wasting so much of our time today, let's get into the topic, because I feel like there's a lot to talk about on today's conversation. So I don't want us to take so much time. So Victoria, please give us the truth of the day. Is it the truth of the day now, or is it the tale of the day? Which category?
I think this one is a tale. I don't even know that. This is a tale, actually.
So, yes, today we have the tale of the day, and Victoria is just going to give it to us. So, you guys, just please relax.
All right. Hi, guys. Welcome again. So, today we'll be talking about a very interesting topic, just like Yemi has said. This person actually was asking for an advice, of course, in one of the platforms we belong to. So let me just dive into it. So she said, hello, good evening. Please, I want to share my story on your page. I just need advice from my fellow woman. I got married in 2018 to a man I met on Facebook. We got married barely 3 months after meeting each other. It was gentle and cool then. And they all.
Tell me.
At first, I was scared because I was only 21 years old and in my 3rd year in school. So I took his name to my pastor. The pastor said I should go, that he is my destined husband. I agreed and married him, though I still had fear in my heart. We got married traditionally. Everything went smoothly. He told me he was 35 when we met. I only enjoyed my marriage for 2 months before I started experiencing war. There are eight siblings, and they stay together in one area and do business in the same place. The major problem was a sister. She would leave her husband's house to come and cook in my house every day. I complained to my husband, but he said nothing. I never reacted because I don't want problems, but I started giving the sister a little attitude. I would just greet her and go inside the room till she leaves. She would stay until 10 p.m. and my husband would escort her home. I was not feeling the marriage at all. She knew I was not okay with the daily cooking because she took over my home and I was feeling like I am nothing. She also took over his brother's attention while all this was happening. I am pregnant. I got pregnant the same month we got married. Hey, God. We traveled for Xmas, and the same sister turned everyone against me, including her mother. They were calling me lazy because I refused to join her in the kitchen when she comes to my house to cook. My only request was for her to let me take over my kitchen. Everyone was mocking me and making jest of me. Surprisingly, my husband joined them. We were supposed to do our white wedding the next Easter, but his mother told him to cancel it. He did. The plenty story in this thing, like, it's just annoying me, honestly.
Honestly.
The main problem started. He started neglecting me when my pregnancy got to 7 months. I requested to make my hair, but I received the greatest beating of my life. The beating started from there, and then he beat me every day. He beat me at every slightest provocation. I complained to my parents, but they told me to stay, in short, and pray and remain humble and submissive, that things will change. I prayed, did all manner of things to make my home work, but things keep getting worse. I put to bed thinking things will get better, but to no avail. I kept praying I joined sex class. I joined sex classes. I am a good cook. I did everything to win his heart. More, but things got even worse. He was cheating with everything in the skirt. Hey God, how many problems for one marriage?
Honestly. Honestly.
When my baby was 6, as I'm reading this, I just keep wondering, like, what exactly is this? You understand? When my baby was 6 months old, I got pregnant again. Though I never knew till the pregnancy was 4 months. I saw hell during that pregnancy. I received beatings on a daily basis. My parent warned me never to bring shame to them. Hey, God, these parents, I feel like slapping them wherever they are right now, honestly.
Honestly.
My parent warned me never to bring shame to them, that I should try to make my marriage work. I kept on trying, but things were getting worse. He doesn't care for me. I carry my head looking tattered. He cares for the kids. He cares for the kids well, but I am neglected. I lost my dad this year. I received beating instead of consoling. The one that happened last was because I refused taking care of his sister's son.
Okay.
This sister she's becoming very suspicious to me, honestly.
Okay.
Because I refused to take care of his sister's son. That's why he beat me up well. I reported to human rights and they resolved it by telling me, by giving him the last chance. Sorry, let me take that again. I reported to human rights and they resolved it by telling me to give him last chance. Who are those human rights? Who are those people exactly that are the human rights?
If it's
that will
in
ask you to
Nigeria,
remain in an abusive relationship?
Forget. There are not any human rights in it.
He got worse. He keeps late nights. He doesn't care for me. He humanizes a lot. I later found that I was actually 44 years old. That was 10 years older than he told her initially that he is. While I am 24, wow, that's like 20 years older.
Different.
Hey, Iradi.
Oh my God.
Hey, God, I don't even know where to start in this story. I'm tired of trying. I want to run away with my 2 kids, but I am I'm from a very poor background. My dad is now late. My mom is sick, and I am doing nothing. I don't have anything to cater for the kids. Please, I need advice and help. What do I do? I am so depressed. That is the tale. This is a tale. This one is a long tale.
Honestly,
this is a tale upon tale because this is like six topics in one. Honestly,
I'm telling you, this particular tale can be turned into super story, soap opera, movies,
honestly,
Netflix series.
That was actually a comment. He said this should be. Someone actually said that I literally thought that this was a script, like a film I'm watching. Like someone is actually going through this. This is, and funny enough, in this same, there was another story I read. Maybe we'll talk about that in another video. Another story I read. If you listen to this woman's experience, you will not even believe it. But you know what? Maybe that's another time. But yeah, things are happening in marriages. Trust me, things are happening. And you know, in that last video, we're discussing about why people are so scared of marriages, especially because of the things they are seeing on social media. And this is actually one of those things, you know, that people are seeing that are making them feel like, what exactly is the essence of marriage if it's just going to make my life even worse, you know, and complicated than it already is. You understand? But anyway, so Yemi, what do you think of this?
Honestly,
you know, I don't know where you're going to start from, but I remember when I sent it on the group chat, the way you were already ginger.
I was angry. Like, I was angry.
You know, I think we should actually even start from, because I think that as we go deeper in this story, there are more levels to, you know, the issue. You know, it started from let's even break it down, you know, starting from the fact that you met someone on Facebook for barely 3 months, and you think it is wise for you to get married to the person. Like, I met my husband in Instagram, but I'm not that stupid now. I'm not that stupid.
We're in the 21st century, okay? We're in the 21st century. And people can meet anywhere. You can meet on social media, you can meet on the road, you can meet in the air, you can meet anywhere. This is the 21st century.
Anywhere.
So it's not about you meeting on Facebook or you meeting on, but the fact that she did not do her due diligence before getting married to him, that's where the problem is. So first of all, she got married to somebody that she met 3 months before, and then she took the name to the pastor. So, okay, let's even highlight the problems there first. First of all, she met somebody that she barely knew, and then she got married to him. She made that decision because she gave the name to a pastor, and the pastor said, okay, this is the person. So she felt like, okay, then it's probably the will of God. Let me do it. I think so. And then she said, another thing she said was that he was gentle. The man was gentle, and she was in school. She was in school. She was, in fact,
300 level.
Oh,
you were 21 years
she
old.
Was 21.
How old was she? Gone?
She was 21, my sister. She was 21.
Hurry.
What are you thinking?
See, I have a lot to say on this. But I think let's even stop there for now. Let's even talk about this, in the beginning, right?
Yes.
Let's break it down. Let's also start from the fact that, meeting a man on Facebook, we've already established that, you can meet a man anywhere. I always say I met my husband on Instagram, and it's still the best decision I ever made in my life. Okay, so we've already settled that there is no harm in meeting your husband on Facebook. The man you meet on the streets will still be worse,
There are so many people that meet in church
you understand.
That they are still nonsense people.
Yeah. And they're having the worst marriages.
Yes.
You understand?
So it's not about where you met.
It is settled that you can meet your husband anywhere. The next thing is that they got married barely 3 months after meeting each other. Like, what's your thoughts on that? I know I always see, even in churches, pastors will make prophecy in October. You say that, before the end of this year, we're in October, we're in September now,
Yeah.
Pastor will say, before the end of this year, you will get married. You don't have a boyfriend. You don't have anybody in sight. But before the end of this year, you get, there are a lot of, and I'm not saying there's nothing God cannot do. You can meet your soulmate and everything is done. I've heard stories like that, of people meeting their soulmates and, everything is settled between. I heard of a lady, actually, she's in her 40s. She has gotten to a point where, and this is someone that, happened actually in my church. She has gotten to a point where she has even given up on marriage. And, our old school friend, called her from the US and, things got settled. Within 3 months, she was married, she was off to the US and everything. So I know there are instances like that, But even that one, there has to be like a divine revelation. God has to appear to me face to face and tell me that, yes, this is he, this is him, him is he, he is him. For me to know that, okay, yes, this is it. You understand? There has to be a personal conviction in my heart. You understand? But I still don't think 3 months is enough to know a person. Even 1 year is not enough to know a person enough to say that you want to get married to the person. But that's my thought. What do you think?
Mio, and I share in your line of thought. I totally agree that 3 months is too small to know somebody, especially because you both met on the air. On cloud. You don't really know. There's a difference between I know somebody as a family friend. Yeah, I know somebody as a family friend or as a neighbor. I've been seeing the person around or as my friend's friends, and then we decide to start dating, and then 3 months later we decide to get married. That one is different. You have a little idea of who the person is somehow, because you must have seen, at least you would know how he dresses or anything. You would have something. No matter how little, you have something to work with, because maybe you've seen the person around before. No, this one is completely, you don't know this person, you just met on the internet. So 3 months is too small. It's too small for someone you're meeting that way. And I know that, things are different. Like everybody's situation is different, but all things being equal, in a normal setting, 3 months is too small for you to get to do your due diligence on someone you are meeting on the internet, on social media, or even if it's not social media, someone that's maybe somebody even introduced to you that you have never seen anywhere before. This is somebody that you're just seeing for the first time, or you're just getting to know for the first time. 3 months is too small to do your due diligence, because people can pretend, okay? But time will expose people. So if you give it more time, you get to know. You get to see things that, you get to a point that even if you are lying, even if you are pretending, you will let your guard down. And then the other person can see who you are. You know who you truly are. But in this situation that is just 3 months, you people are still in the face of, mushy. And like she said, he was gentle, he was calm. Why won't he be gentle and calm? It's just 3 months, for God's sake. Why won't he be gentle and calm?
You don't even know him. You've not tested him. Even after years of marriage, you're still discovering new things about your husband. Not to talk of 3 months. I've dated my husband for 4 years. We got into marriage and I realized that it's almost like I don't even know this person. So yes, we know that true. You cannot absolutely finish knowing a man. But I knew him enough to know that, okay, based on everything I know about him, this is a person that I can spend the rest of my life with, okay? This is a person that regardless of his shortcomings, and of course I have my own shortcomings, but we are able to, work on each other. But I wasn't just going to a marriage after 3 months of knowing a person, someone I've never, and I like what you said about the fact that it's not like he's a family friend or your friend You know, there are cases where you've been friends with this person for like forever,
Yes.
and you know, you guys never saw yourself as romantically involved, and all of a sudden he likes you and whatever. That one is okay because you know the person, or is your friend's friends, or is a family's friend, or you even have a family member who knows him very well.
Yeah.
Even that is not, I wouldn't even rely on that. But even that is even okay. You know, that one
That's
is okay.
even
At least
different.
you know your family member knows him. But this one, you don't know him for Adams. You don't know his family members. You don't know anybody. And within 3 months, you think that's enough. You know, why this thing is itching me. When we talked, I don't know if I ever shared this story, but I shared the story about somebody I know very well, like very, very well, who actually did, and it was the same platform. It was still on this Facebook. That was when we're talking about, okay, no, it was on my channel, I was talking about lies that people tell, right?
Yeah.
She knows this, she met this person on this same Facebook. He told her this is that. Her sister warned her, the family members, we all warned her, and stuff like that. Like, you know, take your time, there's no hurry, you just finished your youth service, like, take your time. You know, it was more or less like, oh, her sister is, because her elder sister is not married, she's bitter, she's this, she's that. She ended up marrying the person. And it became a disaster. The guy was number one. He did not have any job. He was living with his mother, who was a hell of a tool. You understand? Imagine getting married to someone you think is all that, only to get married and be living with your mother-in-law in a one-room apartment. You understand? So many things went wrong. And then, just like this girl also, she got married, she got pregnant the same month. And you know, when kids come in, it complicates everything. It literally complicates everything.
You know,
but yeah, so it's really, really peppering me.
Yeah. It's so annoying. Another thing is that, you know, there are some people that they will even get married by at 3 months, but that 3 months, their senses are so sharp. As a 40-year-old woman, if you're knowing somebody on Facebook and you're deciding to get married to that person, is different from a 21-year-old person. Because what a 40-year-old person will start to look out for from day one, you have not started to look out for those things, right? Somebody that is already,
and that's the next thing I wanted us to actually talk about the age.
Even think about, this lady, there's this popular actress. She just went off for a while. Her video was, she did a 6-part video talking about this particular, is this 6-part or 3-part or something? Patricia, I can't remember her name, where she got married to somebody she barely knew, and that one is even worse. She met this guy on the internet. They were dating all through. It was the day he came to Nigeria. The first day he came to Nigeria, that was when they got married. They went to do the court wedding. Like, the day they saw first time. I'm telling you, the first time they saw.
That's ridiculous.
So you know that this thing is very rampant in our society. Like, people making this kind of decisions is so rampant, especially people. You even think that people some people have sense and they will not do it. It's a lie. They don't. That's why even when you're doing this kind of thing, your level of maturity is also very important. A 40-year-old person, when she meets a man, from day one, she's looking at, she's not doing things like you as a 21-year-old person is doing. From the beginning, a
21-year-old person is looking for her definition of love. My definition of love at 21 was not my definition of love at 24 or 23 or the rest of it. You understand? But of course, we know people mature, you know, as they grow. But that's why, you know, I don't know if you guys have actually ever seen the video of my very first collaboration with Yemi. It's on our personal channel. It was not on this channel, okay? It was our very first collaboration, you know, together. There's one on our channel. There are two on our channel. There are two on my channel. When we talked about getting married young, or getting married early or in your early 20s, because the two of us actually got married in our early 20s or quite young, okay? We talked about things that, you know, the disadvantages and also the advantages. Go and watch that video, okay? That's why I feel like we have the credibility to talk about this, because we are not one of those people that got married maybe in their mid-20s, or, you know, we actually got married quite early. So, but even as at that, okay, you don't just, you know, meet a person. And you were talking about a 40-year-old person. Even though, yes, I totally agree with what you said. As far as the person is wise, look at the person I gave you the example now. She has even gotten to that point where she has understood and she's like, God, your time, your way, and everything, and you surrender to him and things happen. But there are some people that they feel like, oh, I'm 30, the time is clocking, my biological time has finished, and one man will just enter your DM and you just feel like, oh, this is him, you know, and you just get married to him without getting to know him, because you are driven by desperation. But this is not even the case for this girl, because that's why I wanted us to touch on the year or the age, but I also wanted us to tie it to the pastor who gave the advice. And the reason why I wanted us to do that is because I remember when I was quite younger, okay, we were in this church, okay, that every time they see, then I was like, what? I was maybe 15, 17. You know, every time the pastor is praying for us, he's always praying that we'll meet our husband. You know, it was always a constant ask. When are you guys getting married? You know, don't wait until you are too old. I was 17 years old, for God's sake. I've not gone to university. Marriage should not be the thing you're advising me on. You should be advising me on building a career. But then, anytime you meet the pastor, the minister, just talk about, you should, young girls, you understand, the older pastors are getting married to young girls in the church, because I will not lie, at a point, means I was also desiring marriage. I never go university, I don't desire marriage, you understand? That's why I wanted to, like, this thing, you should see all the example I'm giving means that this thing really hits home for me, honestly. But you know, get at 21, and I know people who have gotten married at 20, at 21, and they are having good homes, but not erratically, not like this person who saw a person. You know, there's just a lot of nonsense in this story. Forgive me, okay?
Yeah.
And we understand that this story has passed. There's nothing we can do about the past. But there's something we can do for someone who is about to make a stupid decision to end up like this woman. And that's why we are taking our time to analyze this story. It's not about her anymore. It's about so many people. Because just like Yemi said, there are lots of people who are actually making this decision on a constant basis. But let me just start this by saying that, hey, you are 21-year-old. There is no hurry. I have people that are 18, that are 19 in my DM. You are 200 level in the university. You want to go and one man is making you crazy. One man, one boy, one guy. The guy too is in 300 level. You know, you'll be seeing a lot of very, very weird stories. At 300 level, I don't get time for man. At 200 level, I was not even thinking of a boyfriend. At 400 level, I was not thinking of a boyfriend. I wanted to build my career and become a successful person. Okay, my husband met me pursuing my purpose, pursuing my dreams. God, I think we spoke a lot about this actually in our Married Early. You guys should really go and look for that video in our personal channel. It's always linked in the description box below, because we talked at length about it, and I don't want us to dwell too much on it, but I still feel like at 21, your focus should not be on getting married. Your focus should be on making yourself better. Let your man find you pursuing your purpose. Let him find you trying to make yourself better. Okay, so I don't know. Yeah, what do you think about this age thing?
You're absolutely right. Like, you should, at that age, you should be pursuing your purpose. You should be pursuing your passion, things you want to do. And something that I want to
figuring out life.
You know, and the thing is that, just as you were saying, like when you were 17, when you were 18, that you already go to the pastor and the pastor is already talking about marriage to you. That is another thing about our society. There is a systematic brainwashing. I don't know. I think the problem is systematic, because this 21-year-old girl, you can already tell that where she's coming from her home, from her family, they are driven by the system, like what is happening in the culture. Like, she also said that they are from a poor background, so you know that
poor
I'm sorry
background,
to say, like the people, sometimes people who are poor,
there was not like they were selling her out, right?
Yeah, not necessarily like they were selling her out, but they are also poor in their thinking, in their mindset. Like, it's not just poor of money, but you could tell that they didn't really teach her or
because how will
train
you
her
your 21-year-old?
Because I don't understand how you, as a parent, your 21-year-old would say, I want to go and marry a 35-year-old, and you would not do your own due diligence as a parent, not even the girl. So you already know that she comes from a family where they just believe in what is happening in the society. It's a systematic problem for young people, and that's why you just have to be intentional and just remove yourself from that nonsense system and culture of marriage. Nobody is saying you shouldn't get married. Nobody is saying you should not get married. But the thing is that it is what you carry inside is what the bird eats inside that we used to fly. How did they used to say it? You know, it's what you carry inside that will help you attract the kind of person you want. Look at this person that is just a 21-year-old and is 300 level and is attracting a 35-year-old man who is doing business with his sister and family and uncomposed people. And
imagine.
You know, those are the kind of people you will attract, because if you don't know what you are doing, you will attract people that don't know what they are doing. That's just the way it is.
You know,
and
you're so right.
Too.
And I love what you say.
What's annoying me is that it's a systematic problem for us as a and it's something that if you don't
as Africans,
if you don't mature, if you don't have the right parents who are mature, who are wise, you are likely to fall into this trap. And that's why we have a lot of people falling into this trap, because it's a systematic problem. The problem is deep. A 17-year-old girl will be thinking of marriage. I remember that there were right from when I was in secondary school, somebody would send me. I remember when I was in SS2, one person from my village, from my family, sent me a letter that he wants to marry me. He's going to tell my grandmother. He's going to tell my parents. I'm in SS2. As I saw the letter, me and my friend were just laughing.
Can you imagine?
Rubbish nonsense. After secondary school, like all through till I got married.
Don't forget what that means. That people that they are there to destroy your life, destroy your future. They will get married to you alone.
I remember there was this my uncle's friend that always comes to our house. I even know him. He's from our village as well. We really know him, and he's very cool. He's very focused. He's very all of those things, and he really wanted to marry me. At that time, I had not even gotten admission to the university, and he was telling my uncle that he likes me and he really wants to. He didn't tell me at first. He went to tell my uncle that my uncle is also young. He's not like my all those old pedophiles.
They are not
like that. My uncle is not like very old. He was also in uni at the time, but then he's not like my mate now. He's also matured, and he was telling my uncle that he really likes me, that he likes me, wants to get married to me, and all of that. My uncle first told him at first that it's not about him. Now he should come and tell me. He didn't say anything. He said he should come and tell me. As he came to tell me, I'm like, are you normal?
Can you imagine?
As he now went back to say, my uncle said, are you normal? No. I even push you forward to go and meet the girl. You two, you went. Like, are you normal? And you two, you went. That was the last of it I heard from that. I used to see him afterwards. He used to, like, it's very nice. He didn't push it and everything. That he just wanted that you know all those people that will project into your future and want to tame you from early on. Those are the kind of things. Those are the kind of people. They want to control you.
You know, I actually like what you said about... yeah. That's why they go for people who are younger. People that don't really know what they want in life. The other story I was telling you was almost the same thing. You know, they go for... And you know, you mentioned this thing in one of our videos that they know their targets. When we're talking about emotional abuse, right? We're talking that they go for people that they know they can tame because they know the kind of person they are. So they would tame you from a young age. And you know, it's what you're exposed to that you will come, that will become your reality. You understand?
That. Yeah.
Anyway,
no. That one.
I feel like I'm getting everything.
No, that's what you said that
really
time.
Annoying.
Let's emphasize
Very
it. It's
annoying.
what you focus on that you are trying. Tell them. Tell them.
Yeah. Because if at that young age, a man is already shutting you up, already, you know, dictating how your life would be, you would not know better. You would think that is what marriage should be about. And you will not be able to speak up. Because anyways, you know what you said about, you know, parents, it just made me remember when I wanted to get married and, you know, when I met my husband, I was telling my mom about him because of the age difference between me and my husband. You know, I told you, I don't know if I've told you that story about what my mom did, right?
Yeah.
You know, when I told him, you understand, that was her own way of making sure. She did her own due diligence. She could not be going to Accra, going to all this place to go and find out who is this person, who is his family and everything. But she in her own way, you know, did what she did to be able to ensure that I was making the right decision for myself, because I keep wondering, like, what kind of a parent? Well, I'm still getting back to the parents, okay? Because we're still going to talk about the parent. But let's quickly talk. We've also talked about the pastor. Let's talk about the way. Anyways, maybe in our next video we'll emphasize more on this, right? Because we're talking about faith. In our next video, we'll emphasize more on why would you think? Because this lady. And I think we Christians, we do that a lot. We try to give our responsibility to God. You understand? Instead of us to do our due diligence, try to know the man, try to know what you're about to get into, ask questions, build a relationship, you know, dates and all of that. You just want a fast, a answer. Just go to God. Yeah. God, is it him? Yes, it is him. Then go and marry. But that's not how it's done. You need to cut the person. You need to know the person for yourself. You need to understand if the two of you actually have, you know, if your future aligns, if it's someone that is actually responsible. But you leave those responsibilities for God and you run to a hungry pastor, you know, who just wants to, you know, destroy your future for his own whatever personal ambition. You understand? And you end up being in a wrong marriage, and then you're coming to say that yes, the pastor is to blame, of course, because I don't even understand. Jesus Christ. Let me just make this clear to everyone. I don't know if you still have this mindset that there's just one person in the world that God created for you, that if you miss that one person in this life, you will never get married again. Let me just clear the air. That is a lie from the pit of hell, okay? There is not just one person meant for you, because if anything happens, that person dies. Does that mean that you're going to die a widow? Or if the person married a wrong person, what happened to the man that was supposed to marry the person that person married? Like, it doesn't even logically make any sense, okay? So, There are people that God have created. There are people that your values align, your vision align. There are a lot of things that align. And then you go to God in prayer to be able to ensure that, is this person right for me? You understand? It's not that, is this person the person that you created for me? Please, I beg you. Cut that crap. It is when we used to believe that it's just one person that we always go to our pastor. That pastor, yeah, pray. Oh, let's God tell you that he's the one. Come on, you can pray to God. The way God talks to your pastor, God can talk to you also. But anyway, we'll emphasize more on this in our next video, like I said. But Yemi, just briefly, what do you think about this taking names to pastor? Because some people even have lists.
Yeah.
And go and pastor and say, pastor, pick one.
Exactly, that was what I was even going to talk about. And I think that, it's mostly about upbringing too, because I remember that this happened to me, and I think I mentioned briefly about this particular person in my video where I talked about, dating, and this particular person that from when I got admission to uni like this, he really wanted to marry me. This was somebody that even after I finished uni, he still came back and said, God says me that is his own. But I knew that I cannot. I said I cannot leave it. Like, I cannot. So while I was doing all of that, I'm sorry, throughout my dating, I was in control. Like, you can't even, and I didn't want to date my mates because I knew that I would ride that person. Like, I would treat you anyhow because I don't have time. Boys were just a nuisance and distraction for me. So if you're going to come into my life, I have to be in control. That was just the way I felt about relationship. So when I was just misbehaving to this person, then my stepmom, I call her mom, but she took me to, she was like, okay, maybe this person is actually who God has said is my person, that I should go and pray about it, and this and this and that. I was like, okay. But in fact, the person even told me that we should fast for 3 days, and so that I would be sure, like, God will speak to me too about it. Like, I was like, okay, I will fast. Then all through the fasting, I didn't even get anything. And my mom was now like, okay, let us go to a pastor and, actually pray about it. And why I'm saying upbringing is because that was all she knew as well. She did not know anything about, and that's why, like you said, we'll talk about faith in another video. All she knew at the time is that when you have tough decision making to make, or life decisions to make, you have to go to a pastor. It's beyond you, right? So she said, okay, let's go there. And I was like, okay, fine. We went there, and the pastor prayed. And at that time, I was already dating my now husband. He was just a boyfriend. Like, we're just dating. So we got to the pastor, and the pastor was not like, and every time, this pastor always tells me that I'm very stubborn. That you are very stubborn. So when we took the, when they took the name,
what kind of jatty talk is that?
That was another. That's why all this pastor thing, I just laugh. He was not like, okay, he actually even talked something that made sense here, and that's why. Let me just go on because I can be distracted with this one. So. When we got there, he now asked that, okay, who is this person? And we should narrate the entire situation. So my mom told him about the whole situation. Like, okay, let's pray. I didn't mention any name. I didn't give list. He now prayed about it. And I said, do I have anybody in mind that I want to? I was like, yes, there's somebody I'm dating, but we're not talking marriage or anything. So he just prayed about the both of them. And he told me that both of them are good people. Both of them are this, both of them are that, this and that. And now asking that, why is it that I don't want to marry this person that, is already talking marriage? And there's somebody that I'm not even optimistic. Like, I was just talking about both of them, like, that why don't I want to pick this one that is already ready to marry me and all of that? And I said, I cannot marry him because I cannot live with him for 1 day. I can't even hug him. I can't shake hands with him. And I cannot live with him for 1 day. Like, if I marry him today, anything can happen. I can break his head tomorrow. I can't do anything. Like, I can't marry him at all. Then he was like, it's me that is going to live with this man. Even if he tells me that this is the person that God has ordained for me, he is me that will live with this man. So I better not marry him. And even if I get that calling, he said that I might be under pressure because I'm fasting and praying about it. I might be under pressure and begin to see things that ordinarily I won't even see. So I should not even bother about going ahead with marrying that guy. And he was like, both of them are fine. Like, I should just go and make my decision with myself. And I left. And that's because that pastor is matured. He's pastor. It's not all these people that are actually looking for food.
And I actually like
looking
his
for
tactic,
loyal.
He did not implicate himself. Even as a pastor, like,
Indeed.
come on. When you go to my pastor, right, and you tell him that you saw a man you want to marry, he will tell you, okay, go and pray. Go and pray about it. He will give it time, go and pray about it and let me know what God tells you. I will also be praying with you. And when you come to him, he will ask you, what did God tell you? What has God been telling you? And if he says it and he says, okay, this is what God has been telling me to, but it is your decision to make. But not that you're not saying that, this is the, look at what she said. She said the man said that this is the man destined for you. Ha!
Destined.
That's it. Come on. And I also think the lady is definitely at fault. Like I always say, know God for yourself. But like I said, we'll talk about this more in our next episode, okay? Because I'm thinking this video might become 2 parts. So we'll talk about this definitely in the next episode that we have in this, talking about this, and because this is getting really out of hand, okay? We cannot be putting our responsibility on God. There is God's part to play. There is our part to play, okay? If you don't play your part, 100%. God will not play his part, and you cannot help God to play his part, okay? Everybody has your own individual responsibility and parts to play, okay? There's a message by Miles Monroe that he said something. No, let me go into that. In our next, we'll revisit this tale in our next episode.
Whoever is
also,
watching
we'll
now, whoever is watching, whoever is listening, just go and subscribe so that you don't miss that video.
Yeah,
because
better subscribe. Better subscribe.
Go.
And go and look for our video in both our channel. We actually did
the link will be in the description box.
Video on marrying young. Okay, so go and look for those videos. It's on our channel. Yeah. Anyways, so let's go on. She enjoyed her marriage for 2 months. Okay, and then she realized that they were all staying together. See, this is why when we talked about questions to ask, and I'm so glad about the traction that video actually had, and like people actually watched that video. Obviously, it's something that people are interested in, and I'm really grateful that people are actually paying attention to it. You cannot go into marriage without knowing certain things about your partner. You don't know he was in a family business. You don't know that he stays in the same street with all of his family members. Like, how can you not know those basic? Those are not revelations. Those are basic things that you're supposed to know. And I remember I mentioned it in that video that we talked about knowing what he does for a living. How can you get married to someone that you don't know that he works with? You don't know that he has 8 siblings that they all live in the same. How do you not see that as a problem that is going to happen? It is a ticking time bomb. Now we are now coming to his sister. And I keep putting this sister in quotes because to God that made me. I don't swear, but I still do not believe that this person is a sister. Like this handshake has passed shoulder. Honestly, it has passed the shoulder. Or what do you think, Yemi? Like my sister that you are coming to the house to cook every single day from your husband's house.
I'm telling you, it's possible that she's a sister. It's possible that she's.
I will not be surprised if it's not, because if you don't even know the age. You don't know the age. You don't know his family members and everything. I will not be surprised if all the family members know. Maybe it's his first wife. Who knows?
You are right.
Because he's 43. He's 40.
You're right.
What is a 44-year-old man doing? He never married before.
44.
I'm almost certain that this man probably has an ex-wife. Maybe that lady. Honestly, I don't know. But anyway, you go on. Before me, I'll start to talk now because I'm getting angry.
The family members then are all, like you said. Honestly, this whole thing just boils down to the girl. Everything, even the family members. I really don't have much to say about them because I feel like they also found somebody they can use in the family, and
they can be turning up and down.
They just milked it, It's just somebody coming into their family to come and help them, to come and work for them. And she was stupid enough because personally, I can marry somebody who is like 20 years older. Like, it's not really a problem for me as a person. But I know that I am that strong enough. I am emotionally at last. Like, my brain is working in a way that I don't think I will be used the way this girl was used. The sister will come, cook in your house. She will stay there till late at night. Then your husband will follow her back, walk her back to this. Then she will come back. You will complain to the husband. The husband will not even bother. Then you will go home that your mother-in-law can even stop your own wedding to your husband. Like, he has no loyalty. Like, she's not in a marriage. Let's just forget it. She's not in a marriage. She's their house help.
Hey, honestly, this one is a bondage. This is not married. If I've not married before, I would have said, maybe this way is done because she's
not married. She's just their helpmate. She's their helper. It's just a situation. I feel like they wanted the man to get married, but they did not want him to get married to somebody who will have a hold on the family finances since they operate the same business together. So that's why they went for somebody younger, somebody who is not matured enough, and then they are controlling her. And you will even know that this person
I will
is
not be surprised if this is actually a pattern in their family, because I cannot understand how that sister that comes to her house, to her husband's house to cook from morning to night, she not get husband. She not get husband from morning to 10 p.m. in the night. So what kind of man is she married to that is okay with the wife being in the brother's house from morning to 10, going there to cook? What exactly is the problem? So obviously, it is a pattern in their family that they get married to people that cannot talk to them, people that cannot stand up to them, people that they can overshadow, even both the male and the female. Because if we're saying that, okay, the husband is stupid, what about the husband of the sister or so-called sister, if that lady is actually a sister? You understand? So obviously there is a pattern, and that's why I always say that know the people that you know, the family. You need to make inquiries, ask questions, know this person for yourself. When me and my husband dated, we blind dated for 6 months. When we eventually saw each other, we spent few days together, you know. Of course, just like you said in the beginning, it's always mushy, it's nice, it's lovely, it's shaking. We are still getting to know each other, you understand? But I also went to his family's house. I've been speaking to the mom 2 weeks since we decided to be together. And the woman is always nice and, you know, all that. But I needed to go and see for myself, because there are certain things that body language, that, you know, expressions, and all of those things will tell you more than a phone conversation would. So you need to know, and I needed to know for a fact that this person, because from her house, we are going to my parents' house. So I need to know that, okay, this woman actually accepts me, and not just by mouth or by phone call. You understand? So I did my own due diligence, and everyone needs to do that. You can't just, like, this family, there's a lot. Nonsense going on, but I still stand on the fact that I do not think that this lady is actually the sister. You know, she already said the man womanizes. That's another point that we'll get to. But I don't think this handshake don't pass through. Then how can you be coming to the house and be cooking for money, and then he escorts her home in the night, and your wife is at home, she's sulking, and you don't even care? But the fact that he does not even take your opinion into consideration, it does not, you know, respect you. It does not give you the regard. It does not consider your feelings. It takes his own family, because just like you said, his mother said that don't get married to her. Oh, they agree. Just like don't do church marriage, don't do church wedding. She stopped your church wedding.
The man is married to his family.
Agreed.
She's just helping them to nurture the marriage with his family. She's not his wife. She's not. It
could actually also be, you know, in Nigeria, it is illegal for you to marry two wives. You can, not illegal, but you cannot marry two wives legally. Okay? And I'm still going back to that, my point that this his sister is not his sister. Like, there's more to the story. There's definitely more to the story.
I know that.
You understand? Because
I know that it's possible to have a sister,
you know, in Nigeria,
that will be that nosy and that stressful. Because it's very possible.
I totally agree with that. Yeah, talking about that family house, it could be that this person is actually the sister, but I'm just saying that it could be one of two things. It might not even be this lady. It might be somebody else. Because I keep repeating that at 44, you have never been married before. Now that's like, for me, 44, you are approaching 50. You never married before. Like, I don't know. There's something not right in that story. That, you know, it could be that even maybe he's a divorcee or he has an ex or something. I don't know. Because he could just be using, he could. I'm not saying that's the situation. But he could be using his mother saying no as the excuse not to want to reveal who he really is. Because she didn't even say that he told her that he's 44. She said she found out. So what other things has she not actually found out? Because if he has been married before, he cannot marry another woman.
There's a law she doesn't
If he has been married and he has not divorced, he cannot marry another woman legally. So that could be the reason why he's not doing a formal or wedding with the woman. But anyways, that's a side to the story. But if we are sticking by what she's saying, this person is the sister, the mother is controlling and everything, then obviously there is a systematic issue in that family that I believe that she should have seen coming. See, there is no way you would date a mama's boy and you would tell me you don't have sign or you did not see sign, unless you are blind, or not even unless you are blind. Even if you are blind, you can smell it. She chose to be blind. She chose to be blind to those sides of him because she totally relied on a vision or a vision from a pastor or the word of a pastor. She's telling me like that, okay, if God is in this, it's okay. There are pastors' marriages that are going through issues. There are pastors' marriages that are failing. There are pastors that are going through hell in their homes. So what makes you think that a pastor will tell you and you feel like, okay, if this is God, then everything will be fine? Yes, God factor is very important in every home. But God's factor does not mean that you will not you will not marry someone that has sense or someone that has brain or someone that you know actually respects you or someone that actually loves you. It doesn't mean that you don't do your due diligence. Okay, God or Christianity or religion does not excuse you making your due diligence when it comes to getting the person you want to get married to. Because obviously, 3 months later, because the pastor says yes is the one, and you went ahead to get married to him. That's just really sick.
I'm just before we just move forward, I just want to say that because I feel like it may seem like we are just blaming the girl, which I am.
Oh yeah,
which I am in a way. I don't want to be shy about it.
You cannot but blame the girl. It's just like what sorry Yemi, this thing just came to mind. I don't want to forget what's her name, Mildred Okonkwo. I was watching one of her video a few weeks ago, and she was talking about the fact that she was talking about the fact that when God talks about respect and honor, you understand that God asks you to respect the man because you are the one who have the choice. A man, and that's why a woman is usually blamed. You are the one who have a choice. You made the decision to marry this person. The man no force you. He no drag you go altar. He asks you to respect the man because you chose him as the authority in your home. So you have to respect him. Whatever shape and size of demon that he's dealing with, you have to respect him because you are the one who have the privilege to choose or to make that decision to actually be with this person.
Interesting.
So that's why you cannot but blame the woman. And that's why we need to be careful, especially young ladies that are single. Please go on. I just wanted to make that point clear.
As much as it will look like, honestly, as much as it will look like we are trying to, put the power on her, and just like you said, I like what you highlighted now, that, you're the one that chose to be in that relationship, to marry that person. Like, you have the power before you get married. So before you get married, I feel like, just to give this girl a little credit, I feel like everybody is doing the best they can at every time. The problem is that you're doing the best that you can do at that time because of the information available to you, because of the environment, or because of the level of understanding and the level of information that is available to you. For example, look at this girl now who is 21 years old. Her friends she's still in 300 level. Her friends are also in that area. They don't know much. They are not matured enough. And her parents too, they don't seem like people who have the brain, people that cannot do their due diligence. I'm sorry, they didn't. It doesn't even seem like they gave her the proper training that will equip her to make such decisions on her own. And even when the time came for her to make that decision, they were not actively involved. And the only thing they probably taught her is pastor, everything, pastor. She must have seen her parents maybe when they have small arguments in the home, he's pastor. If they are broke in the home, he's pastor. If they need any small thing, he's pastor. That's all she knows. That's probably all she knows at the time. And that was why she just went ahead and made the decision based on everything that she knows. So that's why I just want to point out that as a young lady, you are still single, or you're not married yet, or you're trying to make a decision, please make sure that you expose yourself to information. Whatever decision you make is based on the level of your understanding, the level of your exposure, the people around you, what you know, what you have up there. Which is why I will always say that as a young woman, equip yourself, let yourself be, just have enough information so that when you want to make decision, you don't make this. You already have all it takes to make decision. As you know, when you made your own decision, when I made my own decision, it wasn't based on just my feelings or anything. At the time, you were already matured. You made that decision because you were at the best. You had the best of information available to you already inside you. At the time you made that decision, it's not something I just woke up and say, is this person I will marry? There were a lot of things. I remember that you said you had a list of things that you wanted. You were praying ahead for the person you wanted to marry. You had, it's not something that you just, the person just showed up and it was like, oh, hey, somebody. No. You were already actively, you were intentional about it.
I really like that.
It's not something that's...
Honestly, they need to go and watch that video. They really need to go and watch those videos. It's not something that you equip
yourself.
It's like...
Go out there, find information so that you can do the best that you can do for yourself, and your best will be enough. Because I know that she tried her best, but at the end of the day, ignorance is not an excuse. So